is China's economic power just a mirage? For decades, China has been the world's second largest economy. It's the largest trading nation, a major investor in global markets, and the biggest holder of foreign currency reserves. But is this economic power really what it seems? In recent years, experts have uncovered worrying signs that suggest China's economy might not be as robust as it appears. And these vulnerabilities could potentially send shockwaves across the globe. So buckle up, because we're about to take an in-depth look at China's economy and discover if its colossal size is just a clever disguise hiding a fragile reality. It's a facade of strength. Why does it matter? China's economic influence has grown exponentially over the past few decades. It's become a powerhouse, surpassing countries like the UK and France to take the crown as the world's second largest economy. This status grants them considerable power on the global stage, influencing international relations and economic policies. Moreover, China is deeply integrated into global supply chains. It's a vital trading partner for countless nations and a significant investor in many emerging economies. Its Belt and Road Initiative alone involves hundreds of billions of dollars in investments across Asia, Africa, and Europe. At first glance, this extensive reach paints a picture of an invincible economic giant. However, this perceived strength may be more of a mirage than many realize. Delving deeper into China's economic landscape reveals underlying vulnerabilities that could shatter this illusion of invulnerability. Unmasking the fragility. A closer look at the numbers. Key. Despite its reputation as an economic titan, China's growth has been slowing down considerably. In 2022, the country's GDP growth was a mere 3%, the lowest rate in nearly half a century. This deceleration isn't just a temporary blip on the radar. It's part of a long-term trend that indicates fundamental issues within the Chinese economy. Furthermore, China's debt levels are staggering. Household debt has skyrocketed in recent years, exceeding $57 trillion. Corporate debt is equally alarming, with state-owned enterprises carrying a burden of over $21 trillion in liabilities. This excessive borrowing has led to a situation where China now has one of the highest debt-to-GDP ratios in the world. These figures raise serious questions about the sustainability of China's economic growth and its capacity to weather external shocks. The property conundrum, a looming crisis. One sector where China's fragility is most evident is in real estate. For years, the housing market has been a primary driver of economic growth, accounting for around a third of the country's total output. However, the industry is now facing a severe downturn. The Evergrande Group, one of China's largest property developers, has been on the brink of collapse, threatening to take the entire market down with it. Other major developers, like Casa Group Holdings and Sunac China Holdings, are also teetering on the edge, burdened by insurmountable debts. The implications of such a collapse are far-reaching. Not only would it devastate China's economy, but it would also send shockwaves throughout the global financial system. The interconnectedness of the global economy means that a crisis of this magnitude would unstake and find within China's borders. It would spill over, affecting economies worldwide and potentially triggering another global financial crisis. Demographic disaster. A ticking time bomb. Another ticking time bomb that threatens to derail China's economy is its rapidly aging population. For decades, China's one-child policy kept population growth in check, but now the consequences are coming to the fore. In 2022, the number of working-age individuals in China started to decline for the first time in history. This shrinking workforce poses significant challenges for an economy that relies heavily on manufacturing and exports. As the pool of available workers shrinks, so will China's ability to produce goods at scale, which could undermine its position as the world's factory. Moreover, the growing number of elderly citizens puts a strain on healthcare resources and social welfare programs, diverting funds that could otherwise be channeled into the economy. This demographic shift is already impacting growth rates and could push the country into a recession if not addressed effectively. Technological turmoil. A race against innovation. China's heavy reliance on foreign technology is another vulnerability that could spell trouble. In sectors like semiconductors, China imports more than 90% of the chips it needs, making it heavily dependent on foreign suppliers. This dependence poses a significant risk, especially in the current geopolitical climate. The United States, for instance, has imposed sanctions on China, restricting access to advanced technologies. Such measures are aimed at containing China's rise and preventing it from becoming a dominant force in fields like artificial intelligence and quantum computing. If China can't break free from its technological dependence, it could be left behind in the global race for innovation, hindering its economic progress and potentially leading to a substantial economic downturn. Financial fragility. Cracks in the system. While China's financial markets appear robust, they, too, have their weaknesses. The country's banking sector is grappling with a wave of bad loans, particularly in the property sector. State-owned banks have extended billions of dollars in loans to developers who are now defaulting, leading to a surge in non-performing loans. Additionally, China's currency, the yuan, is under pressure. Despite official efforts to stabilize it, the yuan has been depreciating against the US dollar, making it less attractive for investors and potentially destabilizing the economy. This depreciation also makes imports more expensive, contributing to inflation and putting further strain on the currency. These financial challenges indicate a system under stress, raising concerns about its resilience and ability to withstand future economic shocks. A house of cards. How it all comes crashing down. Now, let's paint a picture of a potential worst-case scenario. Imagine the bursting of China's property bubble. Its housing prices plummet. Developers like Evergrande collapse, sending shockwaves through the entire real estate sector. This downturn spills over into other sectors, causing a domino effect that brings down major companies and industries. The impact on employment is devastating, leading to widespread unemployment and social unrest. People lose faith in the economy and start withdrawing their savings from banks, but the banks don't have enough cash to go around. This creates a banking crisis that spreads like wildfire. Investors scramble for the exits, dumping their holdings and seeking refuge in safer assets. This capital flight weakens the yuan, leading to higher inflation and further economic instability. As the economy spirals into chaos, the government steps in with emergency measures, but they're met with public skepticism. People no longer trust the system and see the government's interventions as futile. The unraveling of China's economy sends ripples across the globe. Trading partners suffer as exports from China dry up. Global supply chains are disrupted, leading to shortages and higher prices. Financial markets plunge into turmoil as investors digest the implications of this economic earthquake. Some governments step in to stabilize their own economies, while others stand by helplessly watching their financial systems crumble. In this worst-case scenario, China's economic collapse doesn't just impact itself, but triggers a global economic crisis that leaves no one untouched. The Great Firewall of China. A wake-up call. China's economic woes serve as a wake-up call for the rest of the world. It highlights the dangers of excessive debt, the pitfalls of a shrinking workforce, and the risks of overdependence on any single economy. It also underscores the importance of diversification and the need for robust financial systems. Moreover, China's struggles emphasize the limitations of authoritarian economic policies. Centralized planning and limited transparency can hinder a country's ability to respond effectively to changing circumstances. The events unfolding in China should serve as a case study for policymakers worldwide, reminding them that even the seemingly invincible can falter, and that complacency can lead to unforeseen consequences. In conclusion, China's economic power may be more of a carefully constructed illusion than many realize. Beneath the surface of its colossal economy lies a web of vulnerabilities that threaten to unravel at the slightest disturbance. From its slowing growth and ballooning debt levels to its aging population and over-reliance on foreign technology, China's fragility is evident. While predicting the timing and severity of any potential economic downturn is challenging, it's clear that China's best days may be behind it. The question now is whether the rest of the world is prepared for the repercussions of China's decline. Are we destined to witness another global financial crisis, or will we learn from the mistakes of the past and take proactive steps to mitigate the risks? Only time will tell.